it's the Bluetooth from the car.
Okay, well, I think this will be fine. If you can maintain this, I think we'll be all right.
Yeah.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, good evening and welcome to my live stream. This is very different for me because I'm actually away in travel mode again. I've been in travel mode for quite a few months now, and I'm kind of sort of at my son's, and I'm around the side of the house and I'm outside, and I'm going to make the best of this. So I appreciate your participation, and if there's anything about this in this conversation that you don't like, I can always add it or totally just not, air it at all. But right now we're just pre-recording, and we're going to have a conversation about something you and I briefly discussed just a couple days ago, and I'd like to get into it a little bit more. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. Well, let me tell you a little bit about my live stream. It's called SWIM, SWYM. It is the acronym for Say What You Mean. And it's pretty much just talk about talking. What I do is I have different people to communicate with me, and I bring awareness to how we listen, how we hear, how we pay attention, and what we do with the information we receive throughout a conversation. Oftentimes, when people communicate, I find out, including myself, we often say what we feel or what we think or what we believe, and it doesn't always correlate with what's coming out of our mouths. So when I interview someone, I kind of listen carefully to make sure that they are saying exactly what they mean and they're meaning what they say. Any questions so far?
No, go ahead.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay. So, we're talking about the dating world. You remember that conversation we briefly touched on?
Yes. Yes.
And I think age definitely makes a difference. Responsibility and availability makes a difference. And those are things that need to be discussed and made aware of, even as individuals, prior to going into the dating market, as well as interacting with people that are in the dating market. So I kind of sort of want to talk about your situation and my situation. I was explaining to you that I am well into this now, and I'm in a situation where, based on my life and my lifestyle, I am available physically, mentally, emotionally, sometimes psychologically. And although I'm not dating with a purpose, so to speak, I'm doing more interacting than anything. I guess if the opportunity comes for me, so be it. But I'm just kind of, I guess, testing the water, so to speak. And my situation, I think, especially at my age and this time, it allows for me to be available for someone else. And as we begin to talk about your situation is quite different. You may be well into your 50s or close around that age or approaching that age. And usually people at our age, we usually don't have small children or children that we have to attend to. And if and when we do, and we add a job to that, and we have other responsibilities, it makes a whole lot less availability for dating. So I guess this could be a sensitive or maybe even an intense conversation, and I thank you in advance for discussing it with me and possibly even my audience. But I think it's something that we both could learn something from. And I'll start with you. I get the impression that you really think that you are in position to date and date freely. Am I correct with that?
Yes.
Well, when I started to, for lack of a better word, call you on it, you didn't seem to agree with some of the things I was saying. So, as we get into this, tell me why you think you are a good candidate for dating.
Well, I guess we all looking for something. I took a break, like I said, and sometimes you get lonely. You need somebody to talk to that you can trust. I think your partner, as for me, I'd rather, like, like I said, I'd rather tell everything to my partner than to a friend or, that's just how I feel, you know. And sometimes, you go out in this world, try to do whatever, work or whatever you do. I mean, at the end of the day, you want somebody to, hey, are you okay? Ask you like that. So,
Okay, I hear what you're saying, and I notice you mention, you'd rather do that than to tell it to a friend. If you're
yeah.
dating someone and they are your partner, wouldn't that be someone that would be a friend?
Well, some people find a friend, some people find the significant other, you know, someone you can trust, I should say.
Okay, I want to keep our conversation as it relates to dating, and I'm going to use me. We just talked about you. I'm just going to, talk about me. As a single man and available for dating finally, and at this stage in my life, it's like if I meet someone and I want to spend that kind of time with someone, I kind of sort of want to be available, and availability comes in all shapes and sizes. You can be physically available, but then not mentally or emotionally available. You can be
I agree with that, I agree
someone
with that.
someone can be um, emotionally available, so to speak, but then not maybe even be financially available, because if two people are dating and they want to travel, and one person is not footing the bill for someone else, and the other person says, well, I can't afford to do that, that kind of creates an unevenly yoked situation in those regards. But I wanted to talk about your situation in particular. You have the responsibility of young ones in the form of children. And again, not to give away either of our ages, not that it matters to me, but if we are around that 50 mark or crossed over that 50 mark, young children makes it difficult. Do you not agree with that?
Yes, I agree.
Well, with that alone, because not only do you have young children you're responsible for, you have other people you're responsible for, as well as you have a full time job and yourself. I still, considering that, what makes you feel you are a good candidate for dating? And this
Well,
is
like
like, again, hold on before you go. I'm not coming down on you. I'm not trying to interrogate you or anything, but there are many people out there that are in both of our conditions, and I guess if people date for different reasons. If you're dating someone just to spend time with, okay, maybe you are. If you have maybe a couple of hours out of the week that you want to go and Netflix and chill, or maybe just go, have dinner with someone, that's one
uh,
thing. But if someone wants to spend significant time with you and with the responsibilities you have, it makes it difficult. So let's just talk about your availability in particular. When would you be able to date someone if someone, you liked someone and they wanted to be serious with you? Normally in
uh,
the beginning of a relationship, people have a very strong attraction, and they want to see their significant other a lot. They want to spend a lot of time. They want intimacy, not necessarily as it relates to physical intimacy, but they want to spend quality time with them. And with the job and the responsibility of young ones, you're automatically not necessarily in that category. So again, without sounding like I'm beating you up, how does that work for you? What does dating look like for you with those responsibilities?
Well, you guess it right. It's going to be kind of hard because, like you said, I got a lot of responsibility. And some people take it, some men take it, some don't. So, it's just about understanding, I guess,
Well,
of the two person.
when I hear you say some men take it and some don't, I kind of want to get into that as a man myself, and knowing the mentality of most men that I interact with or communicate with. Most men will take that for a little while. Most relationships like that, I give them about 90 days, and that's 90 days tops. Because you can be physically attracted to someone. Everyone has that initial physical attraction, and
Yes.
once you go to a few dinners or Netflix and chill a few times, or have a few conversations either on the phone or at some meeting place or whatnot, that becomes one way or the other. Either someone doesn't want to see you at all, or they want to see you more. So again, and in an effort to close, I don't want to keep you long. And again, I thank you for sharing this time with me because it's very serious. And maybe it's something, have you thought about it to this degree, or is this something new that I'm bringing to your attention? Have you thought about your situation in particular?
Thought about getting too serious of dating. Is that what you're saying?
Not necessarily the seriousness, but your true availability.
Yeah.
Loneliness.
I mean, you brought some attention. Yes.
Loneliness. You mentioned being lonely or wanting someone to talk to. That'll cause you to want to interact with someone, and that's normal. But your true availability puts a type of limit on that. And I could be wrong, because as you said, and I'm going to give a little credit to what you said some men do and some don't. There could be a perfect gentleman out there who's ready to take on the responsibilities of you, the responsibility of the children that you are responsible for, your other family members that you have to look after, and nurture your situation with your job, and even the time you need for yourself. There could be someone out there who's just perfect for that. It's not necessarily likely, it's possible, but how has that worked out for you? When is the last time you had a serious date? What is the last relationship you had?
A year ago.
How long did that last?
1 year.
And what happened? Why did you end that?
I got into some kind of situation. I've lost my job, and he wanted more, like financial. I was taking care of all the bills, and I lost the job. And he said it to me one day after losing the job. He said, "You can't do nothing for me, so I'm going to Tampa." Pretend to be like he's gonna go to work and say, "Help me." He was gonna help me. But then again, a week after he went there, I found out he was living with another woman. Did I make a wrong? Did I choose the wrong guy? Hell yeah, I did. Because when we started, I thought everything was serious. He saying, "Oh, well, we get into some more serious. I want to marry you," but he was selling some bull. Excuse my language, but.
So
But
actually, you were dating someone that you were actually taking care of and providing for.
yes, because we had an agreement. Like, okay, we were living together, and I didn't
You
know
were
that
living together, or he was living with you?
he was living with me.
Okay, that's a big difference. And we're definitely getting ready to get into a different, live stream, a whole different focus, and we can do that at another time. So I, based on just the basics of what you just told me, I kind of see that you were in a situation where it may not have been in your favor, and maybe you found out the hard way. So you learned from that situation. So
I did
what was it? Well,
very much.
congratulations, and then maybe that losing that job was, a blessing in its own way.
It is.
But what have you done in the last year? What have you done about that loneliness?
Nothing really. I just go to work. I found my job again. Go to work. Take care of my daughter. The thinking about dating or getting involved with someone wasn't really in my list for a year. I healed myself because when I thought that we were getting into something serious, I kind of gave it all my emotion or how I feel with him, and it did really hurt me. So, and I said, you know what, this is really exhausting. Let me take a break, you know. But like I said, sometimes it poke the loneliness and having, just somebody to interact, So, like I said, I took a break. I was on the break.
Okay. Well, for the sake of time, I'm not going to keep you much longer, but I do want to say something. Again, thank you for your vulnerability and even sharing this. This is kind of personal and maybe even sentimental and maybe even emotional in some ways. And I guess it could get deep and heavy, but we won't go there. I would just like to say to you to look at your situation. And oh my God, I hate to quote this. There's a YouTuber that I have listened to in the past, and on that live stream they talk about something called a marketplace value. When you're single and or available, and you have to look at your value, and different people have different things to offer. Different thing, people, they say they bring what they bring to the table. Different people bring different things to the table. And as it relates to you, as we got into your conversation, I got the impression that maybe you were not aware of that terminology. It's new to me, but it's just appropriate for right now. When we know and understand and even respect our marketplace value, we don't have to do maybe what you did. You picked someone that pretty much was not necessarily good for you because of your loneliness, and now that you're in the dating market again, that could possibly happen again. But I would like to encourage you to take an evaluation of what you actually bring to the table, prior to getting out there, because if you bring something to the table that someone can actually use and or abuse, you might get that same thing again. But if you are aware of your value, you can kind of sort of do a better job at picking someone and or allowing someone to pick you and moving down that path. And I guess if I had to make a suggestion or a request of any kind, not a request, but I would just say I believe what you were thinking about your availability was not necessarily realistic. In reality, based on me from the outside looking in, I don't see you as available as you think you are, and you might want to come face to face with that. And if I'm wrong, then this is your opportunity to say no. I know I have responsibilities, but I do have a whole lot more to give and a whole lot more to offer. But in the meantime, I just would hate to see you get into a situation where you have great expectations, because the honeymoon stage is always good. Those first 90 days
Yeah.
are usually beautiful, and the reality does set in. So with that being said, if you have anything more to say, I'll go ahead and let you say it. Otherwise, again, thank you again. We didn't get as deep or heavy into this as I thought we would or we could have. And I'm just going to leave it right there. The overall message I want to send is for all of us, single and available people, understanding what we bring to the table and our true value, whether or not what we have can benefit someone else and or a relationship, or whether or not we want to know how far we can go. If I'm going out and I've got $500 in my pocket, I can't go to a place where I'm going to need, maybe $900. I have to stay within my budget. And I think we have to evaluate our marketplace value. Gosh, I hate sounding like that, but that's just a terminology I'm using because I don't have another a terminology. But when we evaluate our marketplace value, be realistic with who we are, our true value, what we offer, what we can bring to the table, as well as what we can receive and or expect from someone else based on what we have. Because the truth is, if you love someone, sometimes love is blind, but reality will definitely open your eyes and cause you to see if you have on blindfold, because it's just a matter of time before reality says, okay, what's love got to do? I know, right? But anyway, if you have something else to say, please, by all means, say it. But thank you for your time. And in closing, our true marketplace value and or what we have to offer is very important. We have to analyze that before we get into the dating world or offer ourselves up for dating, because we could be fooling ourselves. We could be thinking we're one thing and the reality will show us that we are not. And again, I'm sorry, what happened in your situation. You said you learned from the situation and perhaps you won't get in that anymore. You
No,
can have the last closing statements and then I'll let you go.
no, like you just said it. I've learned, and we lived, we learned, and definitely not, gonna be picking those kind of men.
Okay. Well, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and let you go. I'll try to reach out to you later. We can just follow up. But thank you for your time, and keep your head up. Stay strong. Loneliness does not mean you have to compromise certain things. It's okay to have fun, but date with an intention, whether it's a full intention, a partial intention, or maybe you just want somebody to go to the movie with. Just say that. Hey, listen, I
Yeah.
don't want anything serious. I just need somebody to hang out with, once or twice a week, just for a companion. It's okay to put that clear as day on your resume. Wow, let's see if I can remember that. It's okay
Yes.
to make that clear as day on your resume, and not think that, okay, someone's just going to come and make a large investment when we have very little or sometimes nothing to offer. So, with that being said, do you have any thoughts, views, or comments about what I said? Do you think I'm wrong in any kind of way? I hope you
No,
don't
no,
feel.
not at all. I mean, being honest is the best policy.
Okay, well, you don't think
You
I beat you up or anything or like that.
No.
Okay, good. Well, again, thank you. I'm going to let you go. I'll reach out to you later on. Okay, you can go ahead. I know you have to run.
Okay.
Okay, we'll chat soon.
Okay.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
take care.
Bye. Thanks.
Okay. Well, there you have it. Another edition, episode, so to speak, on SWIM, SWIM. That is the acronym for Say What You Mean. The long story short about what I was trying to say was I met this lady and we were just kind of sort of casually talking. And when she shared her situation with me, and as it relates to, the dating world, we were just exchanging war stories. And I was explaining to her that, okay, I am in a situation where, although I am a new grandfather, I'm allowing, the first 1 to 3 to 5 years of my new granddaughter's life to be life that I'm still trying to catch up. Her mother and father are, grooming her and bonding with her, and I get to see videos. She gets to hear my voice, and I am here now, actually, and I will come hopefully at least once more before the year's out. And over the years, I will see her, and when she's not so spoiled, maybe she'll let me hold her a little longer. But by the time she starts to walk and starts to, break that bond with her parents, particularly her mama, I will have a little more to offer her in terms of my presence and availability. But as I was saying, I was speaking with, my friend there, and my situation. I believe that where I am right now, I am available mentally, emotionally. Maybe I need to work on my finances, and don't we all in some kind of way? But I believe I am available, and I believe I have something to offer. Maybe because of my job situation, I still work for other people, but my work situation is flexible. I don't have, not even my dog anymore. Rest in peace, Buster Jr. and Shorty. They're gone, and I don't have any intentions of getting any more pets or dogs in particular. And I can go and come when I want. I can stay up late or get up early, and all of those things. I do have myself. I like to work out and give myself my time that's necessary. But I think I am available, and I haven't always been emotionally, and without going into heavy detail, I haven't always been spiritually available. But when I listened to her situation, and we didn't go into the full details, she didn't seem in no way of place available based on what she had to offer. And I do know, speaking not just for all men at all, but most men are not looking for someone at that age and space and time with that much responsibility, especially when it comes to small children. Adults at our age with adult children that are, self-sufficient, different story. But with that being said, I hope I made a point. I hope I did not offend anyone. And my guest did say that she didn't think I was beating her up. And I hope I was very clear. Although she is a woman, although she wants to cure her loneliness as it relates to dating seriously, maybe she's not where she thinks she is. And if she's in a relationship, she could possibly find that someone, especially someone that means her no good, might take advantage of her because of her loneliness and unavailability, and or she just might be in a situation where perhaps she could just do a little more evaluation and be okay, not so much with where she is. Of course, she needs to be, aware of that, but more so of where we're not. It's natural and normal to think highly of ourselves, but even the Bible says maybe we shouldn't think too high of ourselves. And on that note, find someone you need to say, I love you to. Don't just say it. Mean it and show it. And if you're going to be dating, know your value, know your availability, and govern yourself accordingly. Till the next time, I love you. Good night. Oh my goodness, I just had to share this moment, and I'm not going to be long, but I am out on the beach with my sweet little sweetness, and we have been walking for a little while, and she started out, oh God, you see what I mean? Okay, I'll call y'all back. Okay, we're back for as long as it lasts. We've been out for about 20 minutes now with no problems. As soon as I start to roll the camera, she decides to realize that she's not with her mother. But as I was saying, while I can get this moment, I've had the pleasure to go out with Mia Beth Marie on the beach this morning for my morning walk on Virginia Beach to get some sun and maybe a little wind. And that's what we're doing right now. This is one of those precious moments that I will cherish for a very long time. And I thought I would share it with you. So with that being said, happy Mother's Day, belatedly. And love your grandchildren and your children and everybody in your family for that fact. Okay? Say hey. Say hey, girl. Say hey to the peoples. All right, we'll see y'all in a little bit. Bye.
SWYM. Say what you mean. As much as this information is designed to bring awareness to how we listen, hear, and process, it is also a form of therapy. The little person inside of all of us needs to be heard. As adults, even listening to ourselves is a form of healing, strengthening, and growth. It's okay to speak, talk, express yourself, and be heard, even if you're the only listener. If our testimony does anything at all for anyone else, that makes the continued effort worth the time. Get the words out. You'll feel better, and that's a promise. Thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate it.
You know, sometimes it seems like all the good times are gone. But you got to keep on searching. You got to keep on keeping on. Keep on keeping on. For example, take me right here today. I would not be here with you if I believed the things that the people say. You got to keep on searching. Keep on searching.